Imagine waking up, preparing your coffee, and then sitting by the window only to discover that you have no one with whom to discuss your views. The days seem longer than they used to be, and the solitude is heavy. Have you ever pondered what your life may be like if you were all by yourself? This is a reality for many seniors, not simply a fleeting thought. Many older persons experience loneliness after retirement, the death of a loved one, or the passing of friends. However, does being by yourself inevitably equate to loneliness? When no one is present, is it still possible to find happiness? What if I told you that loneliness is more about how you live your life than it is about how many people you have in your life? We'll share 5 transformative lessons in today's video that will help you maintain your emotional stability, happiness, and fulfillment even if you live alone. These teachings are supported by science and true accounts of people who, after feeling lost and alone, changed their lives, so they are more than simply theories. You are not destined to be alone. It's a problem with a solution, just like any other problem. No matter your age, this video will teach you how to regain joy, maintain mental health, and form meaningful connections. Watch through to the end because every lesson has the power to transform your life. Please remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more motivational videos if you find this one useful. What do you do as soon as you get up in the morning? Do you plan your day, or do you just wait for something to happen and let time pass? Long, empty hours are a problem for many elderly people living alone, and this lack of structure can exacerbate feelings of loneliness. However, what if your day had a cadence, a flow that added excitement and significance? One of the most effective strategies to fight loneliness is to establish a regular routine. It keeps your mind and body engaged and provides you something to look forward to. Seniors who stick to a regimen feel happier, healthier, and have more energy than those who don't, according to studies. However, a habit should be something that feeds your soul, not something dull. Consider Mr. Thompson, a retired educator who recently lost his spouse. With no one to chat to when he woke up every day, he felt empty. However, he established a morning routine rather than allowing himself to get lonely. He began his day by taking a stroll through the park, where he saw people he knew and observed the birds. After that, he prepared a special breakfast for himself and took some time to write in a thankfulness diary. He had already packed his morning full of little but significant moments by the time lunchtime rolled around. A good routine also incorporates imagination and movement. Physical activity, even a simple stretching session or a leisurely dance to your favorite music, releases endorphins, the hormones that make you feel happy. Painting, knitting, or even experimenting with new recipes are examples of creative pursuits that keep your mind active and guard against feelings of emptiness. Even if you live alone, scheduling social interactions is another key to a satisfying routine. Visit a community center, call a buddy, or sign up for an online group. Even in tiny ways, sharing your ideas might help you feel appreciated and connected. Every day is a gift, and a routine with a purpose guarantees that no day is wasted. There is less space for loneliness the more you spend your time doing things that make you happy and calm. What tiny adjustment to your daily schedule can you make today to make tomorrow happier? Being alone is only one aspect of loneliness. Another is feeling cut off from others. Because of our innate need for connection, people of all ages require interaction, humor, and a feeling of community. However, socializing isn't always easy when you live alone. Friends go away, family gets busy, and suddenly days can pass without a meaningful chat. You can still stay in touch though, and even a little effort can make a big difference in your happiness. Making the first move is a strategy for preserving social relationships. Many elderly people are reluctant to approach others because they fear upsetting them. However, people frequently wait for someone to call them as well. What is preventing you from calling an old friend you haven't spoken to in a long time today? Just saying, "I was thinking of you," can restore warmth and camaraderie. Technology is yet another effective means of communication. Why not try video calls if you can't always visit people in person? You can see and speak with your loved ones using platforms like Zoom and FaceTime, which personalizes discussions. Depending on their hobbies, some seniors even join online communities, such as book clubs, cooking clubs, or even virtual travel organizations that allow members to experience other cultures without leaving their homes. Opportunities to form deep connections abound on the internet. In addition, Volunteering is a lovely method to maintain your social life. Giving to others makes life more meaningful and introduces you to new people. Acts of kindness, such as helping out at a community center, mentoring young students, or just checking in on a neighbor, establish deep emotional connections. You and the other person can feel seen and appreciated by even tiny actions, like writing a note to someone, smiling at a passerby, or conversing with a cashier. Feeling invisible is what loneliness is all about, not having anyone nearby. However, communication is always possible. You can let the joy of human interaction into your heart by reaching out, accepting new forms of communication, and lending a helpful hand to others. What tiny action can you take now to increase your sense of connectedness? When we wake up without a purpose, life feels meaningless. When their children grow up and move out, or when they retire, many seniors struggle with this. Days without daily obligations, a busy household, or a job can seem drawn out and unorganized. But life doesn't lose value just because our roles change. The goal is to generate new purpose, something that stimulates you, something that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning. One method to achieve this is to rediscover an old passion. Perhaps when you were younger, you had a passion for painting, writing, gardening, or playing an instrument, but were never able to make time for it. You can now return to those passions with freedom. Making something with their hands, whether it's knitting a scarf, building birdhouses, or learning to take pictures, brings joy to many people. Engaging in creative activities helps you stay focused and fulfilled, since they provide your mind a sense of success. Learning something new is another way to infuse your life with meaning. Learning is not limited by age. In fact, challenges keep the brain healthy. Consider taking an online course, learning a new language, or simply trying out some new dishes. You feel more confident and excited every time you learn something new. Think of how proud you would be to be able to greet people in French or to learn a recipe that wows your family. Another effective strategy to add purpose to everyday life is to assist others. It can be as easy as giving advice to the next generation, supporting a buddy who is having difficulties, or assisting a neighbor with their shopping. Some elderly people enjoy reading to hospital patients, instructing kids, or caring for rescued animals. Helping others helps us feel wanted, and that sense of fulfillment makes life so much more fulfilling. Lastly, you can maintain awe-inspiring days by continuing to be curious about life. Books, documentaries, or even quick walks around your town can introduce you to different areas, even if you don't travel very far. We are reminded that life still has a lot of value when we find beauty in the little things, like a sunrise, a discussion, or a new discovery. What tiny action can you take right now to give your life greater meaning? One of the most difficult things to deal with as we age is loneliness. After retirement, the death of a spouse, or when children start to take up their own lives, many seniors experience feelings of loneliness. However, loneliness is more than simply an emotional problem. It can have an impact on one's physical and mental well-being. For this reason, one of the most crucial things we can do to be content and happy is to establish and preserve relationships. Reaching out to former family members and acquaintances is one method to improve relationships. People drift apart and life goes quickly, but it's never too late to get back in touch. Old friendships can be restored with a simple phone call, message, or even an invitation to have coffee. Many seniors are shocked to learn that a former classmate or coworker is seeking company as well. Start with tiny measures if you find it tough to get in touch. Leave a kind remark on their social media posts, send a considerate message, or even compose an emotional letter. Developing new connections is equally as vital as preserving existing ones. Getting involved in a community or social group might lead to friendships with like-minded individuals. This may be a local senior center, a fitness class, a book club, or a strolling group. Volunteering allows many people to meet people who share their interests and find friendship. We inherently feel more connected and supported when we are surrounded by like-minded individuals. Adopting technology is another approach to maintain social interaction. The internet world is a great way to keep connected and is not just for young people. Virtual seminars, online discussion boards, or even video conversations with relatives can help close the gap between social connection and isolation. Through online groups, many seniors have found the thrill of meeting new people from around the globe. Although learning to utilize technology can be difficult at first, it is a skill that opens up countless possibilities for communication. Lastly, the secret to solid relationships is cultivating meaningful, in-depth talks. Genuine friendships are formed when people take the time to discuss their thoughts, dreams, and even troubles with one another. It's easy to get caught up in superficial conversations. Casual friendships can become lifelong relationships by genuinely listening and posing insightful questions. We get more love and compassion in return the more we let our hearts be open. Today, who in your life could benefit from a sincere conversation? The sense that we are no longer required is one of the most difficult things we deal with as we age. Many seniors struggle to find a sense of purpose after retirement, when life slows down and their children have grown up and gone away. However, life has meaning when it has a purpose. It keeps us inspired, involved, and eager to get out of bed in the morning. Fortunately, purpose is something we create rather than something we lose. Serving others is one of the best ways to rediscover your purpose. No matter how tiny, deeds of compassion have a significant impact. Deep fulfillment can come from volunteering, mentoring the next generation, or just lending a sympathetic ear to someone in need. Many elders like volunteering at community organizations, instructing youngsters, or contributing to charitable causes. A strong sense of significance can be created by even seemingly insignificant actions, such as sending letters to old acquaintances, checking in on a neighbor, or imparting knowledge to future generations. Investigating new interests and pastimes is another method to infuse your everyday life with meaning. Learning does not end with retirement or old age. Painting, writing, gardening, or playing an instrument are hobbies that many seniors pursue. Others fall in love with cooking, photography, or even picking up a new language. In addition to maintaining mental acuity, creative pursuits bring happiness into one's life. No matter your age, the secret is to maintain your curiosity, try new things, and enjoy the thrill of learning. Another strategy to maintain motivation is to set personal objectives. Objectives only need to be significant. They don't need to be extravagant. It could be finishing a personal project, reading a certain amount of books, or taking a specific number of steps per day. Reaching minor objectives keeps life interesting and boosts confidence. Setting fitness objectives, penning a memoir, or even working on a passion project that they never had time for, as young people can bring a lot of happiness to many seniors. Lastly, one of the most effective strategies for discovering meaning is to cultivate an attitude of thankfulness. Our perspective can be changed by concentrating on what is left rather than what has been lost. Deep contentment can be achieved by journaling about appreciation, expressing thank you more frequently, and savoring life's small pleasures. Life feels fuller, richer, and more significant when we concentrate on the positive. What do you have to be thankful for today? Only if we choose to accept it can old age be a lovely, meaningful, and joyful time in our lives. Our later years don't have to be defined by loneliness and melancholy. Instead, by making little but effective changes, we may make our days full of meaning, connection, and joy. Regardless of our age or situation, the important thing is to remain involved with the world. We get a fresh chance to design a happy life every morning. The vitality to appreciate every day comes from keeping our bodies and thoughts busy. A little domestic chore, a puzzle, or even a quick stroll can keep us going. By prioritizing health, we tend to the body that sustains us throughout our lives. However, mental health is equally as vital as physical health. Maintaining social ties, whether through family, friends, or neighborhood associations, makes us feel appreciated and cherished. Even a brief phone call, lunch, or chat can warm someone's heart. Life is exciting because it has a purpose. Having a purpose for waking up each day, whether it is through hobbies, education, or serving others, gives life purpose. Little pleasures are as important, so it doesn't have to be something huge. Deep satisfaction might be derived from a nice remark, a novel experience, or the accomplishment of a goal. In the midst of all of this, cultivating thankfulness enables us to value life in a manner that has never been possible before. Life feels richer and more satisfying when we concentrate on what we have rather than what we have lost. Growing is what aging is all about, not losing. We are in charge of how we spend each minute, which is a gift. Staying active, remaining thankful, and never ceasing to find reasons to smile are the keys to happiness in old age.